Hey guys, I'm glad you all are joining me today. I just want to talk. I was reading this book about positive thought. So if you're just now coming on, make sure you click and like and share the video. Just want to encourage you all to, in order to have a more positive day, more day of purpose, a day of gratitude, a day of love, spend more time thinking about positive stuff. I had today, earlier today, was just bombarded with so much stuff earlier. I was like, wow, how did I attract this to me? How did I attract, people calling me, telling me what's going on with them? How did I attract, things that was not positive, but was also negative, right? So a lot of times when that happens, our days kind of go on a downward spiral. But I'm going to tell you this here. Get back on track and say, hey, I can't listen to this. Let me call you back later. Let me talk to you later. Let me chat with you on tomorrow or another day. And when you have time to deal with a lot of borderline nothing, I guess that's a good way of saying it. A borderline nothing. So let me tell you something. I was reading in this book called Positive Thinking, which is a really good book. And a lot of times that we don't think positive. Sometimes we don't really know what negative is, right? So we allow stuff to get in there. Just like I said today, I was bombarded with so many issues of other people's problems. And that's negative. That's a negative vibration. That's a negative thought. And so what helped me to regather my thoughts, to regain focus, was when I read this here. It says, apparently you never realize that some of those who fail to get in high school, let me go back. Apparently you never realize apparently you never realize that some of those who fail to get in high grades in school have often become somebody greater and the greatest success outside of school. So sometimes the person that failed in high school, failed in middle school, failed in college, they didn't make the grades. They didn't do well in school. So apparently they failed, and people were like, oh, you didn't get a college degree or you didn't get a high school degree. And then when they get into what we call the real world or the sector where you have to pay your own bills, be your own boss, do your own thing, right? When you have to do those things, then what happens? Then you refocus, you reevaluate stuff, and you go after that goal. And so those failures in not having the grades, not having the degree, or not having the high school diploma, or not, getting the doctorate degree. And I believe that's the highest degree you can get, is the doctor's degree. So not getting that. And you see all those people that have gotten those degrees after degrees, yeah, fairly well. They're probably doing really good. But the ones that have failed the most normally have the better life, normally have went and overachieved and, pretty much mastered every obstacle that they had. So sometimes when you look at life, don't look at, oh, this person is not going to be like this here. I was looking at a podcast and in this podcast, they were talking about this actor. I believe his name was Tom Cruise or somebody. So he was saying that, he was a nerd. Nobody liked him. Nobody would talk to him. And all of a sudden he became this actor and he became this celebrity, and all these people began to look at him and see him differently and want to talk to him and want to, meet him and want to date him and want to hang out with him. But when he was in high school, he was a nobody. But it wasn't until he became famous that people begin to see him in a different light. And it has a lot to do with, the energy, the way you view life, the way you see life. And not only that, because he was on this screen, in all these movies, and he had a whole lot of money. One thing that I want to tell you just because you didn't do well in school, don't look at that. Don't ever look at that. I'm telling you, don't ever look at, I'm not doing well in school. I'm not doing, I'm not accomplishing stuff like I would love to accomplish. I'm not doing my best. I'm not going after the goals. I'm not doing the things that I need to do. I'm failing in my English class. I'm failing in my math class. I'm failing. So if you look at if you failed in high school and you failed in college, don't fail in life. Because let me tell you something, you take those obstacles and what you did that created a failure at that time and say, okay, what could I have done better? What could I have focused on? I could have stopped hanging out with, little Johnny. I could have stopped hanging out with little Susie, or I could stop hanging out with Alfred, or whoever it may have been that kind of distracted you in life. So go after the goal. Go ahead. Dream big, dream large. Don't give up on yourself, because the only time you fail is when you stop doing, when you stop moving. I read a article one day. This person was in their 80s, starting a Fortune 500 company. And I'm like, in their 80s? That means their lifespan is not even that long. They have more years behind them than they do in front of them. But let me tell you this here. They started in the 80s because they had this dream that they was going to do something. I'm not saying that it will take you until you get 80 years old, but what I am saying is this here. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Because this person went ahead to live until they were 88 or 89. I can't remember exactly the age, but they lived a little bit longer, and they started this company, and their kids are benefiting from the company. And now the grandkids are benefiting from this company. And I'm like, let me tell you this here. Don't ever think that you can't accomplish anything. You can't do something, that you can't make it in life, because you can. You just have to begin to say, hey, I'm going to take out all these negative thoughts of how I couldn't get it when I was little, or how somebody told me something negative, or how I hung around this other person, and I failed here and I failed here, but I will not fail in life. I will go and reach my goals and have that tenacity to go after your goals. Go after it. Vibrate on a higher level. Vibrate above where you are. And, some people will come and try to convince you that what you're doing is incorrect. But if it is in you to do it, do it. Let me tell you something. I often tell you I read this, I read a lot. So I read this book. And in this book, I've shared this before, but I'm going to share it again for some people who have not heard it. But this person here went to school, and the teacher said, hey, give me what you want to do when you grow up. So this person said, hey, I want to be a caretaker of horses. Oh, that sounds so far-fetched, a caretaker of horses, right? So he wrote his dream, and the teacher gave him an F because she was actually looking for something to be a doctor, a lawyer, or architect, or, some filmmaker, something that will make impact only the way she viewed life, the way she thought life should have been, being a teacher or something in society. And so she gave him an F, and he thought about it, and he said, well, you can keep your F. I'm going to keep my dream. And this man went on to creating this big, large ranch, building this big, large ranch where he take care of horses that were ran in races, like the Kentucky Derby. I know you guys have ever heard of that Kentucky Derby, like these people that go to these horse races and bet on these horses. He is actually taking care of these horses, and he's making millions and millions of dollars a year based on a dream. So just because your dream seems so far-fetched, your dream seems like it cannot happen, it will not happen, it is not something that anybody ever heard of. If you believe it and you believe in yourself, guess what's going to happen? your dreams are going to happen. And then you're going to inbox me and say, hey, Serenity, listen. I remember when you did this live and you said about believe in myself, never give up, go after the goal, go after everything within yourself. Go after it because everything in you, take that energy. Don't spend so much time on, listening to people with their negative response, their negative thoughts. Don't spend all that time doing that. I'm faced with so many challenges myself, which I will begin to talk about even later. I'm faced with so many challenges. And one, just off of my head, I'll talk about it in another live. You have to watch it. But I'm faced with that. But guess what? I keep going. I keep moving, because if I stop, then that means I'm a failure. But if I keep moving and I keep going after the goal and I keep going after what I believe in and what I have dreamed about from a child up until an adulthood, and I keep dreaming about it and it keeps coming back to me, I know that it will become a reality for me. So listen, this is what I'm going to leave you with. Don't give up on your dreams. Go after it. Just because you didn't make the grades, just because you failed in school, just because you didn't do great in all aspects of what people think, doesn't mean that you're going to fail in life. You're going to reach your goals. You're going to be successful. You're going to be great in your city. You're going to be great in your hometown. You're going to be great across the world. We're not all meant to be famous, but one thing that we're meant to be is great. And I believe in you, and I want you to believe in yourself. Hey guys, this is Serenity Speak. Thank you all for watching. I will start letting you know what times I will be going live, so stay tuned. Okay guys, I'll see you soon.